Last year, Australia said g'day to its newest airline.
Oh my goodness, our aircraft is arriving today. So excited. Come on.
It promised to be very Aussie, with casual uniforms and some very ochre plane names.
Basha and Shasha. Who is Bonza and Shaza Koba?
More importantly, it promised to open Australia up, with new routes and cheaper flights between regional cities. But things didn't quite go to plan.
We just found out off the news this morning that all Bonza flights are cancelled.
Well, I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Around 10 minutes before the boarding time, they announced that it's cancelled.
Last week, the airline went into voluntary administration, which basically means it can't pay its debts. And for now, all flights are cancelled. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to apologise. It seems Australia's airline industry is experiencing some ongoing difficulties. If you could just turn to your screen while I run you through the details. The story of commercial flight in Australia starts with Qantas. Queensland and Northern Territory aerial services started up in 1920. But it was soon joined by other airlines. In fact, before World War II, Australia had one of the busiest airline industries in the world. But that didn't last. The government decided to buy Qantas and made it a national airline. It also brought in a law that said only 2 airlines were allowed to fly between major cities in Australia, making it much harder for other companies to compete. The 2-airline policy ended in the 90s and Qantas became a private company again. Its main rival, Ansett, ran into trouble and collapsed in 2001. But Virgin was waiting in the wings and we were back to having 2 main airlines. Over the years, smaller companies have come and gone, and while Rex has recently expanded, as of last year, 94% of air travel in Australia was either with these guys or these guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be noticing a lack of competition, which may impact the quality and price of this flight. Should you wish to use another airline, too bad, there aren't any. Many experts say the lack of airline competition has had a big impact on customers.
Competition is important because it gives the customers choice, and it makes the airlines, in this case, work really hard to provide the services at a fair price to encourage people to use that service.
That's why many were excited about Bonza, which was the first new budget airline to start up in Australia in 15 years.
Bonza was helping Territorians, particularly in Alice Springs. It has been of great benefit to the industry, the tourism industry in Central Australia as well.
So, what went wrong? Now, please remain seated as we explain the difficulties in running an airline in Australia.
Flying aeroplanes is really expensive, and Bonza tried to fly between places that the other airlines didn't, and those routes relied on a lot of people buying seats on those routes, which might not have eventuated.
Australia doesn't have a big population, which makes it harder to fill up a lot of planes. Plus, the fact that we've had 2 big airlines for so long makes it harder for new companies to compete.
We are determined as a government to make everything we can do to try and improve competition.
Some are hoping that Bonza will be able to bounce back, or that another company will fly in.
We really hope if Bonza does not continue to fly, someone else will come in and take up that capacity.
So it looks like we can expect some turbulence, but authorities are trying to find a way to keep us all in the air.